Hi everyone, how are you? My name is Crisia. I'm the offshore sales and operations manager from Go Study. And today I'm hosting this webinar with Carlos Andres Botero. We're just giving a couple of minutes for everyone to join the webinar, and we will start in 2 minutes. I will ask you, please, if you could turn off your microphones and cameras. There's some more people joining us. My colleagues has already posted this on the messages, but it will be great because the webinar is going to be in English. If you want to have the subtitles in your mother tongue, I will show you the instructions to do it. So it's really easy. You just need to press these three dots on the bottom of your screen. After that, press Settings. Select the CC Captions. Choose the language of the meeting, English, and translate to, and you just need to choose your language, Spanish, Italian, French, the one that you prefer. And we are ready to start. So I just see you. Hi, Carlos.
Hi, Crisia. How are you?
Fine. Would you like to introduce yourself, Carlos?
Sure. So my name is Carlos Botero. I am the Senior Principal Advisor for the University of Queensland. I am based in Colombia. I've been working for the university for already 3 years, but I've been working for the international education industry, especially with Australian institutions for over 15 years. So
Wow.
it's my pleasure to be here with you tonight. Today. I don't know what time it is in all the different parts of the people who are connecting now, but yeah, it is great to be with you today to show you a bit more about the University of Queensland and why we are one of the best destinations to study in Australia.
Thank you, Carlos. We are really lucky to have you today with such as experience in the industry. So just to start, I'm going to speak a little bit about who we are, like who is Go Study Australia and how we can help you. So just before, it will be great to know a little bit more about you. So please just leave us some emojis. Why are you here? We would like to know what is, like your main objective and your expectations about the webinar. And yeah, what is your goal? Would you like to know more about Australia? You are really interested in a specific course in the university. So please let us know what is your objective and let's start. So Go Study Australia, we are an education agency with more than 18 years of experience. We have teams all around the world. So at this moment, I'm based in Spain, but I have other colleagues that are currently living in Italy, France, Chile, Mexico, Brazil. So anywhere that you are at this moment, I'm really sure we have someone that could help you in your same time zone and in your same language. We have already helped more than 42,000 people to make their dream come true. So we're really proud of this huge number of students. And it's also really important to mention that we are not just an agency. We belong to Nexet, that is a listed company in Australia. And I think this is something that should give us like stability, trust, and give us like recognition in the industry. Our team is here to support you not only before traveling to Australia, but also during your stay there and also once your experience finishes. I'm not going to explain everything in detail because it will take us a lot of time, and I'm pretty sure you are really interested about the university and the courses. But I think it's important to understand that we have a a team like really experienced in counseling. So if you have doubts, if you are not really sure about what do you would like to study, if you would like to ask any question, we are here to listen to you, and after that give you the best advice. We could help you to choose the best city for you, the best study plan. If you are not sure if you have the English level to study a certain course, we can give you advice about it. And I think a lot of students are scared or are afraid about the visa process. Don't worry about it. We're here to make this paperwork really easy for you. And also, what is important for us is that once you arrive in Australia, you can relax and enjoy the experience without being worried about looking for a room or buying a SIM card, for example. So before you travel to Australia, we will help you to book the accommodation. We will help you to open a local bank account or even connect your eSIM. So as soon as you arrive to Australia, you can connect and send a message to your family and friends like, I did it, I'm here, don't worry, everything it's all right. So we will help you, as I mentioned, from the beginning, but also once you're in Australia. When I traveled to Australia, I remember that I was scared at the beginning about how can I do, where should I find a job. I had a lot of doubts. So we have a team all around Australia. We have offices in Australia, and we can help you with all these first steps. So we will guide you about how to find a job. We will give you the best advice. And what is more important, you will belong to a community. Once you arrive to Australia, you are not alone. You will be surrounded from other students in the same situation that share your same that they have the same fears and the same, like they share the same feelings. So we will be there to listen to you and help you. And for sure, if you decide to stay longer, the team will be ready to help you. And after your experience in Australia, if you decide to go back home, don't worry, we can stay in touch. You can become an ambassador if you are happy with our service. If you would like to recommend us to your friends and family, you can become an ambassador and even earn some money doing this. You will go back home not only with many stories and adventures to share, but also with some certifications. I'm sure Carlos will speak about this during his presentations. And maybe in the future, you could join our team and help other people to do the same once they decide to travel to Australia. As I mentioned, we have an onshore team ready to help you as soon as you arrive. We have offices at this moment in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth. So anytime that you have a doubt, if you need to answer a question, for sure you can give us a call, but also you can go to our offices and the team will be there to help you with anything you need. This is everything that I wanted to share about Go Study. Carlos, after this brief presentation, I think it's the moment to speak about Australia. I think it's important to mention why Australia. What do you
Sure.
think?
So I actually like my first connection with Australia was as an international student. So I traveled to Australia probably almost 15 years ago. I was initially there for 7 months. but I decided to stay longer in Australia. So I extended my visa and I ended up there for 3 years. So actually, there are some studies that show that pretty much 80 to 85% of the students who initially go to Australia, they decide to extend their visas in Australia because they like the experience of Australia. I really love the like living there. Pretty much, I even had the opportunity to stay there with a sponsor visa, but like my feeling was that I needed to come back home. So, and I was lucky enough to get a job with the same institution that I was studying with. So that was how I started my journey, like working in the international education.
Beautiful, Carlos. And why our students should study in Brisbane? What do you think this city has special?
Okay, so I would say that all the cities in Australia are amazing. So like that's something that it's quite important to know. And every city has their own personality, I would call it. So the personality that pretty much Brisbane has is that it's a very vibrant city. Of course, it's the perfect city if you want to have the connection between the nature and the commodities, of course, of a big city. So you will find pretty much anything you need in the city in Brisbane. But if you like beaches, of course, you will find some of the most beautiful beaches in Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast. You could also travel to the Great Barrier Reef. If you like hot weather, that's probably one of the best places to be because it's warm during most of the year. So that's something that really attracts the student as it is located in the subtropical region.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I think what I really like about Brisbane as well is like it's not as big as Sydney or Melbourne, for example, but it still has everything you need. I think students find a job quite easily and is more affordable than other cities as well. So I think there's a good balance between a vibrant city, as you mentioned, but at the same time, at the beginning, if you are scared about expenses or you would like to live in a not as expensive city as I mentioned as Sydney, for example, I think Brisbane is a really good choice.
I agree 100% with you. And also, I believe people who live in bigger cities, probably like the locals, tend to be a bit more cold, I would say. And here the people is more friendlier, and yes, definitely the cost of living, it's a very good point, especially now when the city is offering a 50-cent transport. So you could pretty much go anywhere. You could actually go to Gold Coast for only 50 cents.
That's a really good deal for sure. And I think it's quite common to ask about the weather. What can you say about Brisbane weather?
So you will see it in one of the presentations, but I believe there are over 280 days of sunshine in Brisbane or in Queensland, which is, of course, great. That's something that students really like because, of course, like doing sports outdoor or like even riding a bike to go to the university, it's a very good option for the students.
That's great. And what can you say, for example, for the students that they love Brisbane and they are quite sure about living there, but they say, but this city doesn't have beach. It's not, like it's not in the coast. What can you say to
As I said before, it's really close. Like even though that it's not right next to the beach, it's only 45 minutes from Gold Coast, which has some of the most beautiful beaches. Like Surfers Paradise is there. Byron Bay is not very far from the city. Sunshine Coast is also not far from the city. Morton Island, which is a beautiful island, you will also find it quite close to the city. So there are plenty of places to go and visit. Because Australians, of course, love so much the beaches. So there is like an artificial kind of beach,
Yes,
like right next to the river, which is a beautiful place, of course, to go and visit. And you will see it in all the postcards that you see about Brisbane.
Perfect, Carlos. Because you have studied there and you have lived and experienced the city, what can you say about students' routine in the city? Um, did you have time to
So,
combine both the
yep,
student life with going out with your friends, work?
yes. So I believe that's pretty much the beauty of Australia as an study destination because you find the perfect balance between three areas. So one of them is, of course, your study period. And even though you will see that you need to be studying full time, most of the students, when they see that term, they get a bit concerned because they think, oh, I'm going to be studying 40 hours at the university. Okay, so when I will have time to do the other things. But actually, the balance is really good because you will need to go to the university usually between 12 to 16 hours to study, like to take your classes during the week. Then, of course, on top of that, you need to add your self-study period, and then you will have time to do the other things. So the other thing is pretty much, of course, all the job opportunities that the Australian industry offers for everyone, because this is one of the few destinations where you could actually work part-time with your study visa. And that was something that I did. When I was there, I was working for the same institution where I was studying. There are plenty of opportunities in many different industries, so that's something that it's really cool. And also, of course, the time for yourself, for like to spend on your own. So, and there are many like activities to that can be done in the city. So of course there are many festivals happening, like international festivals happening. There is also, of course, the opportunity to meet with a lot of international students, which is great, and you will have the same kind of you want to live in a sort of way the same kind of experiences, so you will be traveling together, and that's something that it's really nice about Australia.
Beautiful, Carlos. And I'm just reading a question that Nerea leaves, and maybe I didn't explain it before, but as soon as our students arrive to Australia, they could join our welcome sessions that the team host in our offices. And we also prepare different activities and trips during the year. So at the beginning, when you feel a little bit lonely or you're scared about being by yourself in Australia, don't worry. The university, I'm really sure that Carlos will explain that they have a huge amount of activities and
Support.
clubs that you could join, but also go study. We organize, as I mentioned, like barbecues, activities, trips. So don't be afraid. You will meet like hundreds of students during your first weeks in Australia, and you will have people to join, like groups of people, and experience all the student life in Brisbane. So, Carlos, if you would like to share your screen and start talking a little bit more about the University of Queensland.
Sure. So, yeah, here, here it is. Are you able to see my screen now?
Not yet. Yes. Perfect, Carlos.
Excellent. So something that I would like to start mentioning is that it's really important to have the support of an agency like Go Study. Actually, when I traveled to Australia, I did it with the support of an agency, and the cost for you as a student would be the same as if you decide in a sort of way to apply directly, but the level of support that you get, it's much better when you go with an agency like Go Study. So I think that's something to keep in mind now that you will see a bit more about the university. So to start with, okay, I already start with it. Um, Crisia, could you let me just know if you are able to listen to the video? Because I am not sure if the
No, we cannot listen anything at the moment.
oh, let me just check. something here. Sorry, we'll just go back. Okay, compartir. Yep. Okay. Yes. No, I think I will need to skip the video.
That's okay, Carlos.
Okay. So as I was mentioning, we are located in the state of Queensland. So this is the map of Australia, and this is the city of Brisbane, which is the capital of the state of Queensland. We have in the state 4 campuses, and we have over 380 programs in 5 different faculties. Okay, so you will pretty much find like any type of course at the University of Queensland. We also have top 5 research institutes and more than 40 teaching facilities inside in our main campus. So this is just a nice picture of the city. So we have a river that is surrounding the city, and this is just, as I mentioned, this is one of the best places where you will find like the benefits of living in a big city, and also the benefits of living in one of the most beautiful places in the world. So we have the beaches not far from the city. We have the Great Barrier Reef, which is located also in the state of Queensland. We have cities like the Gold Coast, Brisbane, which are located quite close. Of course, all the forest, which is in the north of the city, and the outback, which is a bit further. Something that I don't know if you're aware of or not is that we will be hosting the Olympic Games in 2032. So as any big city in a sort of way who is hosting the Olympic Games, it brings a lot of opportunities, investment opportunities, and with that, a lot of job opportunities for the students and, of course, for the locals. So that's something that is attracting a lot of students to the city, because at the moment we are pretty much like doing all the preparation for the Olympics, and that has bring a lot of job opportunities for the international students who are already located there. So we will be one of the partners in a sort of way for the committee of the Olympics. We'll be building one of the UQ Paralympic centers inside our main campus. So in terms of the destination, as I said, it's considered one of the sunshine states. It was considered one of the best places to live in the world, and the city, it's a multicultural city, so you will find festivals from many different cultures. You will find your own people, and of course, if you want to mingle with people from different cultures, you will also have that opportunity. It's a very friendly community. Australia is one of the best places in a sort of way, best countries to live in terms of multicultural, I would say, like more welcoming in a sort of way for multicultural, for different cultures. Um, for the destination, or for the city itself, it was ranked as one of the best cities to live in the world. And as you mentioned, Krisha, before, it's one of the most affordable cities. So the cost of living, it's a way cheaper than cities like Sydney or like Melbourne. So, and in terms of like saving money, it's one of the best places to go and study and live, because of course the cost of living is cheaper, but the opportunities are just as good as the other cities in Australia. So if you want and have the connections with with the nature. We have the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary, which is not far from the city, and you will be able there to connect with, of course, with koalas, but with kangaroos, with the local fauna, which are the wallabies, the wombats. So it's really nice to have this experience. Um, there are many nice beaches and places not far from the city. So you will have, of course, like for each different weekend, an activity to do if you want to go and see more about the state. So when you're thinking about what you should consider when you're selecting an international destination to go and study, there are three key aspects. So one of them, of course, is the reputation. In terms of the reputation, rankings play the major role, because rankings pretty much tell you a picture in a pot of time of how good that university is. The other one is the experience, and we have been talking a lot about the experience. So in terms of experience, it's very good to know what kind of experience the university is going to give you, what kind of the experience the country is going to give you, and the city is going to give you. And we have been talking already about some important areas in that sense, and the outcome. What are you going to be ended up doing once you return to your home country, or if you want to stay longer in Australia? Something that is quite important about the outcome is that Australia at this moment allows the students to apply for something that is called the post-study work visa. And this post-study work visa is when you go to Australia and you do a program which is 2 years. It needs to be 2 years or more. You could apply for the post-study work rights. And this visa allows you to stay for another 2 to 3 years more in Australia with a full working permit. Okay. So to talk about the first one, which is the rankings. So these are some of our rankings. So we are a university ranking the top 40 best universities in the world. In the US News Best Global University ranking, we are ranked top 41. In the academic ranking of world universities, which is also known as the ranking of Shanghai, we are ranked 63 and number 2 in Australia. So all these rankings pretty much focus in, of course, the research outcome, the experience of the university, how it is perceived by the other institutions, of course, the worldwide recognition. But there is one in particular that I really like, and it's the one that is done in Australia by an external company, which is the Australian Financial Review. And this one, we have been ranked for the last 2 years as the number 1 university in Australia. This ranking doesn't focus that much in all the research experience. And as you could see, we're already good at it, but it mainly focuses in 2 key areas, which is the study experience, so the student satisfaction, and the outcomes, so the job opportunities or how the industry perceive the professionals graduated from these universities. And we have been ranked as the top university in Australia. Once we focus in the key areas, so you will see that the university is not only good as a whole university, but we also rank very high in key specific areas. In areas like environmental sciences, biotechnology, agriculture, we are ranked as the number 1 university in Australia. And as you could see there, we are ranked in all these key different areas in the top 50 best or top 100 best universities in the world. So you will see programs in many different areas: anatomy, medicine, sociology, biological science, food science, ecology. So we have psychology. So we have a wide range of opportunities for students. We are also the Australian university with the highest number of teaching awards, and we are a comprehensive university, so we offer a wide range of study options for our students. In terms of our community, we have over 57,000 students, more than 21,000 international students. So as I said earlier, you will find your own people while you are there. You will find the opportunity to connect with people from everywhere in the world. We have a lot of experience working with international students, so we know that their needs are very different to the needs of a domestic or a local student. And we have teams, like different teams located within the university, who would be able to support you depending on if you have academic needs, if you have personal needs, if you want to connect with other people to have different experiences, so you will have that connections while you're at the UQ. In terms of our campus, so we are going to start with the main campus, which is the San Lucia campus. This is San Lucia, so it pretty much starts from up this part of the river down to this part of the river. So everything located inside, like the this area, it's the university. On the other side of this river, we're building the fourth campus, which is Dutton Park. So this is where we have our faculty of pharmacy, and where we are building our faculty of like everything related to biotechnology is going to be located in this area too. We're not far from the city center. So this place here is the CBD, the Central Business District, which is only 20 minutes away from the main campus. Okay. If you're interested in doing medicine, dentistry, or doing public health, you're going to find our third campus, which is going to be located in this area. It's called Hairston, and it's specialized in those three areas. It's right next to one of the main hospitals of the state, and you will find it over here. So only 5 minutes away from the CBD. And our fourth campus, it's going to be the Gatton, which is 1 hour away from St. Lucia campus. And we give the option for the students to take a bus for free from this campus to go to the Gatton campus. At Gatton campus, you will find everything which is focused in agriculture and animal sciences. Okay. In terms of accommodation, like you will find over here all the accommodation options inside the same campus. Over here, of course, all the sports facilities, you will find them over here. And if you're a student who wants to improve your English, we have our UQ College, which has the option to study, like if you want to study English, you will be able to do it here, okay? So these are just some of the pictures of our Hairston campus. And these are some of the images of our Gatton campus, okay? This campus is actually amazing. So if you are interested in agriculture or animal sciences, one of the best places in Australia and probably in the world to come and study. The campus is actually bigger than St. Lucia in terms of like terrain. So it's pretty much everything you see here. Of course, it doesn't have that many buildings as the one in St. Lucia, but it has everything that you need. We also have here accommodation options for our students. And here, if you want to do veterinary, if you want to study a Master of Animal Science or agriculture or agribusiness, you will need to come to this beautiful campus, okay? So these are the study areas. So the study areas are the different departments within the faculties. So we have these 12 different study areas. So we're gonna start with the Faculty of Business and Economics. So these are just some of the programs that we offer. And as you could see before in one of the first slides that I show you about rankings, something that it's important to consider is that because we are good in so many different areas, we maintain the same quality no matter what the program is. Because you will see probably that there is a university which is really good in business, but it's not really good in agriculture. So a program in agribusiness will not maintain probably the same quality as it will be with us, as we rank very high in both ends. So we have the program of agribusiness as undergraduate on or as a postgraduate if you want to do it. Accounting and finance, business management, business systems, economics, entrepreneurship, leadership, marketing and advertising, tourism and hospitality. We also have, for example, information technology as part of our Bachelor of Business or our Master of Business. In terms of law, we have criminology and criminal justice as an undergrad, international law, which is a program that also ranks high in at UQ. And you also have the opportunity, if you are interested in doing a bachelor's degree, to do a dual degree. So you could mix law with many different options: journalism, science, humanities, economics. Communication and media, we have we have the options for postgrad and undergrad. So we have the Master of Communication, but also the Bachelor of Communication, the Bachelor of Journalism, the Master of Writing, Editing, and Publishing. We have a master called the Master of Interactive Design, which is a mix for people who comes from the design industry, but it's also interested in getting the acknowledge from the engineering part. Education, so we have the Master of Education, but we also have, of course, the Bachelor's in Education. And in terms of education, our Master of Education have different 9 different majors or fields of study, which are called when you're doing a master's. So you could also specialize like within your master's in key areas. In terms of engineering, we have a wide range of options: biomedical engineering, chemical, civil, computer, electrical, electronic, environmental, materials, mechanical, mechatronic, mining, software. And also, as part of within one of those options, we also offer like specializations or majors. So for example, you will find that within civil engineering, you could specialize in structural engineering, in transport, in urban water engineering, fire security. So there are options to specialize within each one of our programs. Computer science, so we have the master's and the undergrad in computer science. In cybersecurity, we also have a master's degree with different areas to specialize. One of the most comprehensive data science programs in Australia. The Master of Information Technology or the Bachelor of Information Technology is also offered, and software engineering as a master's or as an undergrad program too. Architecture. So in terms of architecture, we have one of the top 5 schools in Australia for architecture. Once you graduate from architecture design or from the Master of Architecture, you will be able to be accredited by the Board of Architects in Australia. We also have the Bachelor of Design, and we have the Masters of Urban Development and Design and the Masters of Urban and Regional Planning too. In terms of health science and medicine, as I said, we're ranked as in the top 35 best universities in the world. And we have the bachelor's, or we have the medicine program as a postgrad program. We have pharmacy, which is a very good program, dentistry as a bachelor's program, exercise and sports nutrition, where we are ranked number 2 in the world, social work, psychology, where we rank very high too. And in terms of psychology, being admitted into a master's, it's more demanding in a sort of way, the admissions process, but it's worth it in a sort of way. So for psychology, something that you need to consider is that you need to already have a very good English level, but we have many different options. We have organizational psychology, clinical psychology, neuropsychology. Most of the programs in the health and medicine areas are quota programs, which means that you will be competing for some spaces or places to study that program, okay? So it's not open to all the international students. You will be competing for a place to come and study with us. That mainly happens with health and medicine and with veterinary programs, okay? And also with some, no, mainly with those, we have the quota programs, yes. So in terms of environment, as you could see, we're the top university to come and study in Australia, and one of the best in the world. So we have the programs in conservation as a master's. We have geographic information systems as a master's too, environmental engineering as an undergrad, environmental management as a postgrad, environmental science as an undergrad too, and sustainable energy as a postgraduate program and or as an undergraduate program. In terms of science and mathematics, we are also the top university ranked in Australia, one of the best in biotechnology, in biomedical science, in molecular biology, in marine sciences. We have two of the most beautiful research facilities in the world for marine sciences, one of them actually located in the Great Barrier Reef. So for the faculty of, so I'm just gonna give you a brief explanation about how we work. So I'm gonna start with the Faculty of Science. So we have some programs of the Faculty of Science, in this case, located in the campus of Gatton. The Faculty of Science has these different schools, so School of Veterinary, Mathematics, Environment, and similar to this, you will find it with the other faculties, okay? So of course, these are some just of the facilities. So we have, depending on the program that you are aiming to do, we have specialized facilities for each one of the areas. So we will also have, if you're aiming to do a research program, so we have very specific programs for teaching and doing research, okay? Most of our programs will include some sort of research, especially during your master's degree. During your undergrad, it will depend. If you are aiming to do an honors degree, you will need to do some research during your honors degree, okay? So yes, these are just some additional pictures about the campus in Gatton. And this is how it works with a master's degree, okay? So you will find this in each one of our programs. So you will find the career options. If you go into our website, you will find that all the programs are teach in these three models. So lectures and tutorial, research experiences, or work placements. And you will find an estimate of the career salary within the area of studies. You also have the opportunity. So here with the Master of Animal Sciences, you could specialize in product and animal science or wildlife biology. If you go to business, you will find, for example, with the Master of Business, or the areas where you could specialize, same with the Master of Education, and same with many other masters, okay? You will be able to find the course structure before you apply. So you will be able to see what are the specifics of your course, where are the curriculum of your course, okay? So this is just to give you an idea of how it works. So we have foundational courses, flexible courses, and depending on the field of study, you will need to take some specific courses. Usually foundational courses are for master's degrees where you could come from a different area. So for example, if you graduate from business, but you want to do the Master of Animal Science, you could do it, okay? So that's the flexibility, and that's what what students really like about the model at UQ, okay? So these are just some of the graduate outcomes. So here you could see the salaries for the students. This is a student who also studied in agriculture, and the salaries they receive. So I'm just gonna go a bit fast with this one. So with the programs, you will see that in terms of postgraduates, so we have graduate certificate, graduate diploma, masters, or the masters, which could be 1.5 years or 2 years long. At the end, the students will receive the same certificate upon graduation, but what it will change is the academic entry requirements, okay? So my recommendation is to go directly to Go Study, to go to the best academic options for you, depending on what you would like to study with us. This is the research facility that I wanted to show it to you about the marine biology. So here you see a bit more of it. So this is actually one of our research facilities for conservation and students who are doing marine sciences. And these are just some of the companies that we partner with. And usually students, when they want to do a research project, or if the program says that you need to do an internship, you will be partnering or doing some research directly with these companies, okay? As part of the programs, especially when you're doing an undergrad, you are able to do a single major. So that's only if you want to specialize in one area, a dual major if you want to specialize in two areas, or you could do a dual program. That is when you want to mix two programs from different faculties. So you could mix the Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Business, okay? When you do that, you will only be adding to your studies 1 year. And so if the bachelor's is 3 years, you add 1 year more, and in 4 years, you will be graduating with 2 degrees, okay? So that's what students tend to do. In terms of research, if you're interested in doing a Master of Research or a PhD, you will need to find first a supervisor, and then you could start with all your application process. Of course, during the research process or during that research program, you only do research. So you won't be taking any classes or any units while you are doing your master's degree, okay? That's only for research studies, okay? In terms of academic support, so we have the Career Center, which is going to be helping you, of course, with finding job opportunities where you are already in Australia. If you want to do an internship, we focus in making you more employable once you graduate. But something that we have seen is that our students tend to be more entrepreneurial once they graduate. So for students who are aiming to get a job in Australia, or pretty much anywhere in the world, we have the Employability Award, which is going to be helping you with all the soft skills that you need to improve in a sort of way while you're also getting all your academic skills. For entrepreneurship and commercialization, we have the UQ Ventures. So if you go to Australia and you're doing the Masters of Biotechnology or your Bachelor's in Biotechnology, and you come with an idea that you want to build your own company, you don't need to study business to do that. So you just go to Ventures. Ventures is a unit of the company, a unit of the university, which helps students to make their own companies, to make their own businesses. And it's very good. Like, it's one of the best units for entrepreneurship in Australia too. So this is what we do as part of Ventures. So we help the students like with their ideas, and then we make the things in a sort of way pretty much happen. Okay. For students who are doing research, so just to let you know, we are the Australian university with the with the strongest record in commercialization from like all across the universities in Australia too. So in terms of admissions, we have all the different options. If you need to improve your English, you will be able to improve it through UQ College. So we will be helping you with that. If you want to be admitted into the university to do your bachelor's degree, but you don't have the specific academic requirements, we also offer the foundation program through UQ College too, okay? The process is very simple. GoStudy is the expert with it, so they will know depending on the country where you're based or the diploma that you receive. So your certificate, depending if you're aiming to do a master's or an undergrad, they will let you know more about the specific academic requirements. For scholarships, we have a 20% scholarship, the high achievers. At this moment, the scholarship are closed because we already pretty much closed the admissions for semester 2, 2025. If you are aiming to do a master or bachelor's now, you could pretty much apply during next week, but we are now focusing in students who want to come and study with us in semester 1, 2026. So we have 2 intakes during the year for most of our programs, one in February and one in July. Those are the intakes with us in Australia. For language programs, the intakes are more open. So we have one intake every month. And it's only if you want to come and study with us, only a language program. We have the Destination Australia, a scholarship, which is only for students who want to do animal science or agriculture programs. And then we have the research scholarships, which are a bit more comprehensive scholarships, but those are only for students who only want to do a PhD or a master by research with us. For accommodation options, we have plenty of options. So you could stay on campus, you could stay off campus. We have a guarantee policy accommodation for students who are doing the undergrad program with us. We have also accommodation options in Gatton for students who are aiming to do agriculture, as I said, of animal sciences. And we have over 220 different clubs and societies. These clubs and societies are pretty much the best option to do networking, to connect with the students who have the same interests as you do, as you have, okay? Thank you very much. These are my contact details in case you have any additional questions. Of course, we will try to go fast with the pending questions maybe in the chat, but if you have any additional question and you want to send me a WhatsApp or an email, I will be more than happy to help you with it.
Thank you, Carlos. The presentation was really, really complete. We have 5 more minutes, so if you have any questions that you would like Carlos to answer, I think this is the moment to do it. Let me check if we have any of them pending, because the team was answering questions all the time. If the questions are really particular regarding your personal circumstances, maybe it's better to contact us through our form or through our website, so we can study your personal circumstances and answer you in a better way. But let me check. So we have one question, Carlos. If I don't have English, can I apply?
That's a very good question. So it actually depends on your English level at this moment. So if you have, I would say, between B1 and B2, you will be able. We will be doing something that's called a package offer. So you will start first with your English, and you will be studying between 25 to up to 30. So that's the maximum you could study with us, English, like in a package, okay? So you finish your 30 weeks of English, and then you move into the master's or into your bachelor's, okay? So that would be the maximum. If you need more English than 30 weeks, so if you are in an A1 or A2 level, you could come and study with us English first. So you could come to UQ College to do your language program, which is called Integrated English. It mixes general English with English for academic purposes. And once you finish that program, so in a year, once you finish your 40 weeks of studies, you could apply for an extension of your visa and do your further studies with us, like bachelor's or master's.
Perfect, Carlos. If you're not sure about your English level, you can contact us so we can give you the instructions to do the placement test and check the English level that you have. We have a couple of questions, Carlos, regarding the fees. How much are the fees to study? So I think it depends on the study that you decide
Yes,
that you choose.
That's a very good question, but it's very easy to answer. So we have 3 different fees, I would say. So for the humanities, the cost of the program is 43,000 Australian dollars. Would you be able, maybe, Krisha, to help me? How much is that in euros or in US dollars?
Let me check that I don't want to give incorrect. Okay, we have Hermes just answered 25,000 euros.
25,000 euros, that would be for 43,000 Australian dollars, right? That's per year, that's correct. So that would be per year. Then for engineering, that's usually 53,000 Australian dollars. Same for business. And for science and health science is a mix, is usually 50,000. So the maximum would be 53, the minimum would be 43. And of course, I know that if you compare it to the fees that you get in some universities in Europe, this is more expensive. But the good thing with it is, like, you need to analyze it in terms of the experience, of course, and as an investment in terms of the what it comes after you graduate. Because once you apply for the post-study work rights, as you could see, some of the salaries for our students are very good in Australia. So this is pretty much when you get all the return of your investment.
Beautiful, Carlos. And I think maybe this will be the last question. Is, sorry, what English certificates are valid in Australia?
What?
English certificates?
Yes, are accepted in Australia?
Yeah. So maybe I understand that maybe it's to be accepted in the uni.
Okay, so we accept the IELTS, we accept the TOEFL, we accept the Pearson, and we accept the Cambridge, but it needs to be the CAE. Okay, those four would be the ones that we accept.
Perfect, Carlos. So last one, there are art therapy program.
Yes, we have it, and it's part of our Master of Mental Health. So as part of it, there is a field of study or an specialization in art therapy. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, if you have any more questions about the program, just send us a message. After the webinar finished, we will send you the recording. So if you have any more questions, if you want to double check the information, you could do it at that time. And for sure, you can also contact us through our form, and the team will be more than happy to answer all your questions to find the most suitable program for you. And for sure, if you have additional questions regarding programs, Carlos will be there for supporting us. So Carlos, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to host this webinar with you and learn more about the uni. If you have any additional questions, please leave us a message to us. It will be great as well to hear your feedback. And anytime that you need more information, the team will be there for you. So Carlos, thank you so much for today. Would you like to?
Thanks to you. Thanks to all the Go Study team. And it was my pleasure to connect here with you today. And hopefully many of the students here will find the best opportunity option with us to come and study.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you for everyone for joining us. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.